What is up, everybody? Welcome back to 9 to 5 Gamers, and today is Top 10 Tuesday, isn't it? That was a really bad impression, but what I can tell you is that today is Top 10 Tuesday, and we are doing a Top 10 Games of 2024 that I am so looking forward to. Now, just a little heads up on why this list exists, okay? Why this list exists. I think I got it right that time. It's because I've been buying so many games last year. I actually kind of tallied up all the money that I spent in board games, and I was kind of like, I was a little obsessive this year, and it was good for content, but man, budget-wise, I just can't do it this year. I'm like, the thing is, I keep buying new games, and I'm at like 70-something unplayed games in my collection. That cannot happen. So I've made a New Year's resolution, and my New Year's resolution this year is I cannot buy any games until I play everything in my collection. So I won't be buying any games this year, most likely, because in order for me to play everything in my collection, I would have to play at least 2 games a week. And that has not happened. So I'm pretty sure I'm not even going to finish this. So I don't think I'm going to be getting any board games this year. It would be nice if I could. If I can knock out like 3 per week, then maybe I can, and I can get some games towards the end of the year. But one of the cool things is that GameFound and Kickstarter exist, and BackerKit. And so those games, I have ordered them last year, and they're coming in this year. One in particular, I ordered in 2021, and it still hasn't come in. Maybe that gives away one of the games that's on my list. But I'm going to go through these games. There are actually 11 games on this list, so let's go through them one at a time. So these are the games I'm looking forward to in 2024. Number 1, Tether. Tether was a really cool game. This is kind of like an honorable mention. It's a little card game. It is what it is. Rado really liked it. He said that him and his wife really liked it. They said it was a cool game. I was like, you know what? I don't mind backing these. They don't cost a lot in shipping, and you get the little deluxe version. So I was like, you know what? I'll back it, because Tether looks pretty interesting. It's one of those games I don't know if I'll find it in the wild later. I don't know how much they're going to mass produce it, but I heard it was really cool. You got like these little astronauts, and they have like these little air tubes, and you got to kind of like tether everybody together. It's pretty interesting. Now, my number 10 is a game called, it's not a game, it's an expansion to a game that I really love, and that's Holotype. And so Holotype is getting an expansion called Mesozoic Europe, which I actually did a review of on my channel already because they sent me the prototype. Thank you so much, Brexworks Games. You're my favorite people in the whole entire world. Thank you so much. And so check that out if you want to check it out, and check out that video if you want to see what that expansion brings. But it adds a lot to the game. The way I would describe it is like, you know how like Viticulture is like a good game, and then they made Tuscany, and it's like, wow, I kind of don't want to play this without Tuscany. That's how I felt about Holotype. I'm like, Holotype is so good, but like this just elevated the experience for me, and they added a lot of cool little personal goals, and I really enjoyed it. Next up on my list is the 4th game. Yeah, it's the 4th game in a series of game by Matt Riddle. There's a couple of people who produced it. I apologize. Matt Riddle's always one that I remember because I follow him on Twitter. But he's the one who created Fleet the Dice game, Three Sisters, Motor City, and he came out with another game called French Quarter, which looks so pretty. It's a roll and write game. It's in the same vein as Fleet the Dice game and all those other games. Those games are like my favorite roll and writes. When it comes to roll and write games, I just gravitate towards those. I don't know why. I just find them so much fun, and I really liked all of his games. So I looked forward to French Quarter, man. It's so cool. Really cool roll and write. I love the dice and everything that they added to this game. It looks so well produced, and it's so colorful and vibrant. And God, does it take place in? It's called French Quarter. Is it in New Orleans? I don't remember. Anyway. But I'm looking forward to that game because it looks really good. My next game that I'm looking forward to is Let's Go to Japan. I got the like super mega deluxe of this that literally comes with like the bowls for like components and stuff like that. They're like ceramic bowls, and it comes wrapped in that Japanese cloth. And I went all in on this thing because it looked real pretty. And you're basically like, I think the premise of the game was that you're doing an itinerary because you're going to Japan, and you want to make an itinerary of places you want to visit and stuff like that. But the way the game, like the theme itself is just great. Like that's a theme, you know what I mean? Like it's like, hey, welcome, it's a pirate game. Oh my gosh, there's like 50,000 pirate games, but this is a theme I feel like nobody's really done, and so I feel like that's such a cool start to the game already. Not to mention the component quality and everything on this game just looks phenomenal. And I'm really excited about the gameplay. I think it looks really good, and I can't wait to play it. My next game that I'm looking forward to this year is Robomon. It is no surprise to anybody. I really like Pokemon. I've talked about it on the channel. It is my favorite video game IP, like for sure. And I like Call of Duty, and I like some of these other games. I like Fortnite, and I play those games. And if you ever want to play video games with me, just let me know. We'll put the gamer tags out there. But Robomon is a Pokemon adjacent game where it feels like a Pokemon game or like a Digimon, but it looks like it's its own little entity. It's so cool the way the designer made this game where you're catching Robomon, you level them up and stuff like that. I love like RPG games where you catch monsters and level those monsters up and they change into other monsters. And so Robomon is right up my alley. I'm really excited. I hope that game is coming in this year and I'll be able to play it this year because I've been looking forward to this for a while. The next game is Planet Unknown, and this is not a new game to 2024. Obviously, Planet Unknown already came out, but I played it at Dice Tower and immediately backed the Kickstarter because it was up during that time where the game found. And so Planet Unknown was really, really good. I would say it's a little bit like a more simple version of the Isle of Cats, but it doesn't have as many mechanisms to it, but it's definitely very strategic. And I love the little Lazy Susan, that it's this spinning thing with all of these different tiles. And so like the way you sit is that you turn and it's like, I'm going to take a tile from here. So wherever the tiles are facing on this Lazy Susan, that's where the other players can grab. So it's like I pick, you choose kind of thing. And it's so cool, man. I loved Planet Unknown. I really wanted to play it again, but didn't get a chance to. So I'm excited that that game's coming in. Another game that I'm excited for is a game called Peacemakers Horror of War. And these are the same people that made Lands of Galzir and the other one, which was Peacemakers, but it was a different title to it. I love this universe. I actually went ahead and backed Peacemakers Horrors of War, which is the new game, and it's coming with a copy of Lands of Galzir, which was really cool because Lands of Galzir can be very expensive if you try to buy it like secondhand. It's not like this game is like produced a ton of them and they're all out there in the stores just waiting to be sold. Lands of Galzir is actually really hard to find, and you're not finding it for less than like $100. I was able to get it a lot cheaper than that through the Peacemakers Kickstarter that they did, or GameFound, I forget which ones they're on, crowdfunding platform. But Peacemakers Horrors of War looks really good. It's got these books that flip open, and they're like dual page books that flip, and you place, I think the whole thing is that you're trying to stop war from happening, but if you can't, like, you see what the horrors of war will bring. And there's different factions that you can play as with beautiful screen printed meeples. This game looks incredible and I'm so excited for it. The next game on my list is a game called Andromedas Edge. So Andromedas Edge is kind of like the spiritual successor to Dwellings of Eldervale. Dwellings of Eldervale is this big, grandiose game. Caught a lot of people. It didn't even catch anybody by surprise. People played it and they just absolutely loved it. Was so hard to get our hands on it. I finally got my hands, and I got myself a copy of Dwellings of Eldervale. As a matter of fact, it's right here. Dwellings of Eldervale. But one of the things that I found out about is that the guy who created that game made a game called Andromeda's Edge, and there was some sticky situation there between the game developers and the game companies, I believe, and the rights to like who owned it. So he made this game, which is like a space version of that, but it should be better. And I'm looking forward to that because I really like sci-fi games. I love space games, and to have a Dwellings of Eldervale but in space, and the factions, the puzzles that they did that you had to solve, and then if you did, you got like it was cool, man. I really enjoyed the campaign for Andromeda's Edge, and I love that they had their own like Discord where you can just kind of talk with them. These guys are on fire, man, the guys that are making these games, and I'm really excited for that one. Next game on my list that I'm super excited for, but again, this is the game that I backed in 2021, and it's 2024, and I still haven't received it yet. I think it's in final production, and I think it's going to be shipping out, I believe. Paul Grogan, if you never watched him, I forgot the name of his channel, but Paul Grogan, amazing guy, by the way. Like, one of the things I like about him is that he's very active in like Facebook chats, and so like he's always talking to people, and he's so active in the Facebook groups that I am with him. He's responded to me. He's a great guy, man. I actually really like his channel as well, but he has done some really cool videos, and he unboxed this game, and it's a game called Agonia. Oh my gosh, when the thing here was the crazy part. And Paul, thank you so much. Like, I don't know if you'll ever see these videos. I don't know if you ever watch my videos. I don't know how much content you actually have time to watch. But if you ever do, I really love your channel. But the second thing is that I had lost faith in this game. I honestly didn't even think the game was going to come in because I ordered it in 2021. They said it would be there by 2022. Got delayed. 2023. Delayed. And it's like, you'll be receiving it in 2024. And I had just lost faith in the game. I wasn't even hyped about it anymore. I was kind of like, I don't even care. When the game comes in, I might just even sell it. Like, I don't think that I really want to play this game. It's taken way too long for it to come in. And that was my thoughts. Like, I didn't vocalize these things or say them to people. It was just, it was here. And I was just kind of so frustrated with Agonia. And then Paul did an unboxing on his channel. And when he did that unboxing and I watched that unboxing, I said, oh my goodness, the components for this game. And I went all in on this game. Did I go all in? I didn't go all in. I think there was like one tier above the one that I went, but I got all the miniatures and stuff like that. Like, I paid a pretty penny for this game when it came out. And man, I'm so glad that I did. When Paul opened that box and he started showing how the mechanics work of the game and like the game boards, and the game boards have slots where you can slot pieces in them. And it's like triple layer boards. I'm like, oh, this game looks great, man. The final production on this game is incredible. And then I remember the famous words he said. I don't know if he was supposed to say them, but he did. He said that it'll be in retail by February. So that means that we should be receiving it this month or next month. But I'm super excited for Agonia again. Thank you, Paul, for renewing my hope in this game, because I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, this game's going to be incredible. So thank you so much, Paul. And a second game, I got one more after this, and that is Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era is made by Chip Theory, and it's a Chip Theory game. So those are the ones that have, the poker chips and stuff like that. And they made, what is the name of that? With the gear locks, bones, Too Many Bones. They made Too Many Bones. They made Burn Cycle. They made Cloud Spire. They've made Hoplomachus and Hoplomachus Victorum, and they have some great games in their roster. When I saw that they were making an Elder Scrolls game with the chips, I was like, take my money. That's fine, because I really like Too Many Bones. Too Many Bones was interesting too, because like, it's an IP that I'm not familiar with, but one of those things is like, for other people at my table sometimes look for IPs and they go, do you have any Marvel games? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll break out the same Marvel games. And it's like, hey, this game is kind of like that, but it's like, I just can't get into the theme sometimes. So IPs help a lot. Like, I know some people don't like them, but I think they're great. So it's really cool, because I always look for games that I know my wife would like, and my wife loves Elder Scrolls. I have another friend who loves Elder Scrolls as well. So I'm looking forward to getting this game to the table and being able to play this Chip Theory version of Elder Scrolls is going to be incredible. So that's my number 2, and I'm excited for that one. I think it should be coming out this year. Maybe delayed till next year. And my number 1, I have nobody to thank except for Alex Radcliffe, because Alex, you twisted my arm into submission when you talked about the game Iari and Guard. Now, Iari and Guard is a 1 to 2 player game, and I believe it's 2, but I think its suggested player count is maybe 1. But it can be played with 2, I believe. I think it's 1 to 2 players. So me and my wife, this game looks like it's right up my alley. It's like a bag building game, but it's like this big campaign. And let me tell you something. I was helping out my friend Joel, and he was unpacking all these boxes from a collection that he ended up purchasing, a collection from somebody, and they had a copy of Iari and Guard, and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is heavy. I'm really excited for this game, by the way. This game looks so great. It's like this bag building adventure game. It's got campaign elements, and like it is just a really cool looking game, and it's got some little miniatures and stuff like that. Like, I was like, bro, I like this game, and I saw Alex play a couple of games of it, and I just love the gameplay. I love the way this game looks. I am so down to play this, and I want to thank Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. for convincing me to buy it, because even if my wife doesn't want to play it and doesn't like it, I can play it solo. And I've been looking for good solo games, because I have not had a lot of solo games lately. A lot of the games that I've actually, what's left in my collection of games that I have to play, a lot of them are like negotiation games where it's like this is best with like 3 to 5 players, and that player count just escapes me all the time. I can never get that to the table, so I'm really excited to play Iari and Guard because I can just whip that game out and play it by myself whenever I want to. And that's it, man. That's my list of games that I'm looking forward to that are coming in this year. That's my 2024 looking forward to list. And there's some other games that I'm sure are going to come out on Kickstarter that I'm going to be excited for, but probably won't be able to buy or play. But I'm going to have to get them at retail maybe in 2025. So anyway, thanks for guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, check out our memberships, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.